Well, good morning, and a little while ago I put a video together about how to calibrate my gimbal. This is the Zhiyun Z1-Smooth-C Gimbal. It's the first edition, and I put that online on YouTube, and it's had quite a lot of views actually. But some of the one of the drawbacks of that is that it must be connected to a computer with USB cable with software downloaded in order to be able to calibrate it in that way. So what happens if you're out in the wild in a place like this? I thought I would put together a little video that explains how you can calibrate one of these when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you haven't got access to a computer. So here we go. Now, it does require some instructions because it's very unlikely to be able to remember this. I certainly can't. And so I've actually downloaded, I took pictures of the PDF file and put them on my phone, but I have also printed these off so that I have them with me as well if I can't use my phone for some reason. And these instructions just explain what to do. So I'm just going to go through this one step at a time. So first off, we need to power it on, and then you need to wait for about 5 seconds or so, and this indicator light will shine and then flash. This puts it in the normal standby mode, but instead of then pressing the phone to activate it as a gimbal, you press the up button for at least a second, and the light will then remain on like that, and then you press and hold the down button for more than a second until the light flashes once regularly. Okay, so we now have flashing light. So we're now in calibration mode, and I'm going to go through to the next page of these instructions. So this says place the gimbal in this orientation. So this is just like doing it on your computer, so it does take a little bit of working out, especially if you haven't done this before. It says place the gimbal. When successful, the light will flash 2 times regularly. Now I think I've got this set, and I don't think I've got it correctly orientated, so let's put it that way. I need that piece facing down and that bit up. Okay, now we've now got 2 flashes. Place the gimbal as shown above. When successful, the light will flash 3 times. So I've now got to reorientate it. I'm going to turn that part of it away from me. I'm going to turn this part towards me, and that part, and that orientation. Still flashing twice. At some point it should start flashing 3 times. Sometimes this just takes longer than others. I'm just going to rest it on the stone here so I can keep it as still as possible, because that might be part of why it's delaying. Right, okay, it's now flashing 3 times. So I can move to the next one. And I've now got to place that downwards, that bit upwards, and that piece towards me, like this is really awkward because I don't know how you're supposed to now see whether or not it's actually flashing. I'm going to have to hold this up in the air now. Okay, we've now got 4 flashes. So This one is similar orientation, but now that bit must face upwards, and we'll do this until it flashes 5 times. Okay, let's start that one again, like that. That bit on top, other bit facing away, the other axis away, and the holder upright, facing up. That should do it. Okay, that's now going 5 times. It really wanted to be put down. So next we need to orient it so that this piece faces away like that. And we do this until it flashes 6 times. Okay, that's 6 times. I'm seeing the blue thing by watching it reflect on my finger. And then one final time we need to then orientate that the other way. That's it, all is done. Okay. So let's give it a go. Now I have to confess, this is quite a fussy procedure, and I've had to cut out some of it in order to save a bit of time on the video. Gimbal. Okay. Okay, there we go. One calibrated, fully calibrated gimbal. I'm just going to put the compass app on, because that has a spirit level on it. There we go, 0 degrees. Now it looks slightly off true to me, but I think that's because the phone isn't set quite correctly in the actual holder, but by and large that appears to have worked pretty well in the field calibration of the Zhiyun Z1-Smooth-C first edition. I'm pretty sure that these instructions work exactly the same for the new edition of it as well. I'll put a link in the description below to where you can download the instructions for how to do this. In the meantime, I hope that you'll find this useful. It's really just a matter of following those instructions. You turn it on here to start with. You wait until we go into the standby mode. You then press the up button for at least a second, then press the down button for at least a second, and then it's just a matter of going through those shapes that it asks you to hold it in on the instructions each time until it flashes the right number of times. It starts off with 2 flashes, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and then 7. Once you get to the end of the last one, in 6 different positions. Once you get to the end of the last one, it just finishes the calibration automatically and just goes back into standby mode. So I hope that's been helpful, and let me know how you get on. Give any comments, like, subscribe, all the usual things. Thanks for watching. Bye.